As soon as you do a practice, as soon as you set an intention, even more so, as soon as you practice impeccably, stuff comes up. And then you get to work with it. So whatever comes up, whether it's fear, anxiety, agitation, happiness, joy, whatever, one works with it. And there are many ways of working with reactivity, particularly the blocks and barriers. The easiest is simply to be aware of them. Remembering again the mantra that awareness in and of itself is curative. So the extent to which, for example, if I'm up here doing this and I suddenly feel anxious about how I'm coming across, are people getting it or something? Beauty of knowing the power of awareness is recognizing we don't have to do anything about that. All we have to do is allow ourselves to be aware of it, and it will process through. So to the extent you can simply bring awareness to your experience, that's enough. Blocks and barriers will process through over time simply by bringing awareness to them. So that frees us from having to interfere with the mind. And as your practice continues and deepens, what you find is you need to interfere or work with the mind less. Your trust in the mind grows, and as the third Zen patriarch said, the way is one with the trusting mind. As Chogyam Trungpa said, meditation is about making friends with your mind. Spiritual practice is about making friends with our mind. To an extent we barely appreciate, most of us have spent our lives in warfare with our own minds, distrusting our minds, i.e. ourselves, and struggling with them. And it is such an extraordinary gift of practice to recognize that we don't have to struggle with the mind, that if we simply bring awareness to our experience, the mind will heal it of itself. And the more we practice, the more we come to appreciate that the mind is a self-healing, self-organizing, self-actualizing, and self-transcending organ. It doesn't need us. That's the good news. All we need to do is bring awareness to it, and it will unfold wonderfully. So, to whatever extent you can do it, simply be with your experience. Now, there are times when the stuff that will come up will feel too overwhelming. It'll just take you over. And then you probably need to work with it in very specific ways. And there are a whole slew of psychological and spiritual tools for working with difficult experiences. And I'm sure all of you have your own repertoire. So you choose whatever's appropriate and use it. But there's one very, very important first step. Anytime difficult, negative stuff comes up and you feel you need to work with it. And it's a paradox. And it's one which not being known creates so much suffering in our world, it's inconceivable. And the jewel to know is this, that the way through any intense, difficult experience is first to let it be okay to be there. That is, to the extent we can let it be okay to have whatever experience we're having, to that extent we relinquish resistance and it can begin to process through. Here's an important principle. Within the mind, what you resist persists. Okay? So acceptance is really, really crucial. And moreover, what we're unwilling to experience runs our lives. Think about it. Our lives literally are circumscribed and dictated by what we're unwilling to experience. So an enormous part of spiritual practice consists of letting it be okay to have whatever experiences come up. And that's enormously freeing. It removes judgment and self-condemnation and guilt and doubt, etc. It's enormously important.